Okay, thank you. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is the Tucson-Pima County Historical Commission Plans Review Subcommittee meeting of Thursday, February 12th, 2026. Called to order at 1:04 p.m. I will go ahead and do roll call. Terry Majewski is here. Andrew Christopher?
Here.
Blake Houghton? No. Joel Ireland?
Here.
And Savannah McDonald?
Here.
Great, we have a quorum. Item 2 is review and approval of the January 22nd, 2026 legal action report / minutes. Could I have a motion to approve as submitted, please?
So moved.
That's Andrew. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Is there discussion? Okay, if not, I'll call roll. Terry votes aye. Andrew?
Aye.
Blake? Not here. Joel?
Aye.
Savannah?
Aye.
Great, thank you. It passes 4-0 with Commissioner Houghton not present. Okay, hold on, I've got weird things going on here. Okay, item 3 is summary of public comments. And I wonder if we have any comments received. Desiree?
No comments received here. Jason, did you receive any comments on your item?
Not been any comments.
No? Okay. Thank you. Item 4 is historic preservation zone review cases. We review these under UDC section 5.8/TSM 9-02.0/historic district design guidelines and revised Secretary of the Interior standards and guidelines. Case 4A is SD 1125-00170. TD DEV 1124-00315/TD DEV 1124-00316. And this is at several parcels at 2330 East Broadway Boulevard. And this is Jason's case. If you want to introduce us to the case, please.
Sure thing. Thank you, Madam Chair. So this is coming in with several parcels. There are 3 parcels that will be fronting East Broadway, where they will be doing rehabilitation standards to rehabilitate the storefronts. The 4th parcel is in the back for required parking. One of them at 2360, which is currently the Buhadia storefront, will be restored to the 1950s photo center facade. On about page 29 will be the conclusion of the SHPO's letter saying that they concur that there will be no adverse impact and that they are in support for rehabilitating that storefront back to the 1950s photo center facade. With that, I won't delay it any longer. I will turn this over to Gene Goldstein to present. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Diego, did you want to present this or you want me to? What would you prefer?
Sorry, I was trying to unmute. You could present. I could pull up the PDF. No problem.
Why don't you pull the PDF then, and then give just a quick bullet point. This is obviously a redevelopment of these buildings. Thank you, everyone, for allowing Diego and myself to be on the call. I'm Gene Goldstein, president of Ramic Design Group. Diego Garcia has been the project manager of this project from the outset, working with the Aries Collective Restaurant Group. And, the intent is to repurpose these existing buildings, maintain the historic values that the exteriors have with some various modifications that we've worked through with various submissions. Maria's on the call. Appreciate all her help guiding us through this. Michael Taku as well. And then the use will be basically restaurant, bar, activities type interior use with some exterior patio space at the rear of the building, and then a developed parking area at the rear as well. We have gone through the development plan process on the permitting side. Our building plans are currently approved subject to the development plan, which is waiting on the hopeful approval of the SMD package we submitted in this conversation today. And we just have to resubmit our development package and for a couple items, and then God willing, we'll be to approval stage. I know that's not part of your area of discussion, but I'm just giving you an overall background. I don't think Nate joined our call today. He may have had a conflict, but it's basically a mixed use, commercial restaurant type use, and we've done our very best to try to maintain the existing historical values of the exterior. And that's about all I have. Diego, do you have anything else that I missed that you want to add in, or did I cover it enough?
Yeah, no, I think you did great.
Thank you. Obviously we're open to any questions you have of the packages that we've submitted. We've made, number of times we've made some revisions based on some valuable input from staff. And again, thanks to them. And we hope that what we've put in front of you is something that you all like and hopefully can approve. And that's it.
So am I missing something? You haven't shared the presentation, or am I just not seeing it?
I didn't know whether you guys would pull it up. I'm not used to these. I haven't done these kind of meetings before. Is this something you want us to pull up, or you pull up from your end?
Yes, please. And then you can scroll through things and we can ask you questions. Thank you.
Okay, Diego, you want to pull it up?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can walk them through the front of the building, the interior, what we're doing, the exterior. That you're more equipped to do that than I am, I think.
Let me know when you could see the my screen.
I think it's coming. There we go. Okay, go ahead.
Are you able to see the images?
Yes.
Mhm.
Great. Yes. So as you could see, this is Broadway, or these images are taken from Broadway, looking south along the facades. As Jean was mentioning, we maintained or try to maintain the existing embodiment of the architecture along these buildings' facades. Most of it we would be preserving or restoring to its original state with some paint updates, paint accents, but the architecture, storefronts, existing brick materials would all be maintained. This is, let me see if I could zoom in here. Actually, that's towards the back. Apologies. There you go. Between these two buildings, we are proposing signage that goes along with that matches the architecture, the adjacent architecture. And as you go through the buildings and go to the back, is where, again, right, maintaining the existing architecture, brickwork, and adding a few canopies, windows, and towards the back, right, we would be installing new or building out a new parking lot with a patio, or reinvigorating the patio with a canopy and some privacy and ramps for ADA accessibility.
You want to walk them through the interior of the? Do you guys want to know about the interior? That really isn't part of your purview.
Yeah, we don't really
Terry, this
review
is Joel.
interior.
Can you tell us the approximate cross street with Broadway where this is?
Closest to Broadway, it's southeast of Broadway and Plummer, but a little. What am I about maybe an eighth of a mile east of plumber on the south side of the street.
Ah, okay. Thank you very much.
It's in the Sunshine Mile.
Right. Gotcha. That's what I was wondering. I appreciate it. Okay. Thank you.
You bet.
I don't think we need to see the interior unless people
Okay.
have specific questions, but if you want to show us the site
No,
plan, that's good.
after I started talking about it, I'm going to myself, wait a minute, you guys, I know, I realize what your scope of review is, so it's probably not necessary unless someone wants us to show.
No, that's okay, but just go ahead and show us, tell us about the site plan and so forth.
Do you want to go, Gene, or?
No, go ahead, Diego. Keep going. You're doing great.
Yeah, so this is Broadway, and the images that we were showing was the facade along these building fronts. This was the road that we were showing with the signage, and towards the back, which is really considered the front and main accessibility to, or main access to these buildings. We would be providing new parking with these entry patios. This would be the canopy or covered patio that the images were showing. Let me see if I could do this as well. Hope it doesn't kind of minimize the images for you. 1 second, I'll zoom in once I get the images up for you. Here you go. So, apology. Here you could see is what I was just mentioning. This is the entry with the signage maintaining this building front is this on the right, and the corner of this is this building right here, to kind of give you a little bit more of a perspective of this. This is the facade. Currently, it's a mission style facade that we are reverting back to its original intent and architecture, which was that photo. It was a photography or photo store, which we would be bringing back. Here is again just the overall image of the facade or the facades along Broadway looking south. The far east or west corner of the Broadway buildings. Let me know if there's anything in particular that you wish me to stop at and go over any questions. And this is the covered patio at the south of the building that we would be providing. And a zoomed out perspective from the back here of the parking lot, looking towards the back visual of the facades. And again, we would be maintaining the existing finishes, materials, with modifications and rehabilitation of some debilitating materials we would be reusing and adding these new structures. I think that would be that captures the project from the exterior perspective.
Okay.
Thank you, Diego.
Great. We'll go ahead then with questions then. Who would like to start?
I can start.
Okay.
My question, where the bowling alley is, you said, let's see, keynote 5, existing building entry exit to be renovated back to architectural feature. Can you explain that, or if you're
Yeah, let
taking,
me.
do you have a historic photo of which you, what's the
Yeah.
evidence that you're using to
Yeah,
put it
no.
back?
Yeah, thank you for asking. I believe from the SMD package, we had that documented and included in here. Let me see. Actually, I think would be just give me 1 second. I'll pull those images up. Actually. So, and I'll go into depth, but this is the drawings that captured going back to that, but let me pull up the evidence. So this is what the current facade looks like.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is from the historic review. And this is the photo center facade, right? In the 1950s. That we would be bringing this back to.
That's pretty neat. Are you guys gonna light up like that with that reveal lighting, or?
Let me see. Let me go back to what we are showing. We would have signage. The signage has not been produced yet. Let me see. I'm going back to it. So I'm assuming I wouldn't be able to make any promises just because we haven't coordinated the signage package yet. But right now signage is intended, but we're not sure whether it does or will have backlit signage or
I was talking about the frame
your question,
signage too.
I think your question was around the perimeter where the blue is.
Yeah.
Around the edge. I think that's a great idea, and I think it's something that we should, discuss with the Aries people. And I think it ties it back to the original historic. So our promise is to discuss that. And if that's a condition you want to put on this, I think it's a great one.
Yeah, no, I think it's lovely what you've done. I appreciate it, and that's a neat facade. Is the glass all in one plane, including like the little display cases, or
the back is? I'll show you. I believe in the back is, you can see, and then it pops out and across.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Nice. Other questions, Savannah?
Yeah, that was really my only question. I guess the only other entries I was curious about are actually in the back, and it says something about how they have to be modified a little bit, right, on the south side of the buildings. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. So currently these are separate buildings, and so we're I zoomed out a little bit, so you can't necessarily see, just so I could find this the plan, but they're all separate buildings which we are combining into to one. So they are, here you go. So currently there is this open alleyway right here in the back. And so we are in a demo this actually no, we're leaving this wall here. We're going to demo this portion and reuse that brickwork to close this off. And so again, so there's an existing opening here that we're going to leave open so people could go through and access this portion of the building. So those are the minor modifications that we're doing, and we're placing in new storefronts on this facade. And again, the brick that we're removing, we're hoping to reuse so we can maintain the same aesthetic and architecture that the current building contains.
Right. Okay. There's currently not storefront back there, right? Is it just more so service entry historic originally? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
I'm sure Glad can do this, because I sure can't do this kind of stuff. This graphic stuff. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that helps to show the existing. I've got the new up. So you're keeping like the windows and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
creating some new openings for just more connectability at
Exactly.
storefronts. Okay,
Uh-huh.
yeah. No, I like what you've done. I'm excited. Looks good. Thank you.
Right. Thank you,
Thank you for your
Savannah.
comments. Thank you for your comments.
Who's next with comments?
I can go.
Thank you.
The on the photo center facade, can you clarify what materials you're using? And then just what the backup is from the inventory form for your material choices.
Mhm. There really isn't any backup material or construction documentation, believe it or not, that supports what material this is other than the photos that we see. So the materials that we're using is going to be framed in stucco and storefronts to, again, closely resemble as much as possible. And then wood sills at the window again, because you could kind of see how it kind of comes down on from both sides, and this looks to be like a 2-inch right sill, and so that's more so the material that we plan on using is stucco and sharp edges, smooth and textured, to kind of give you that difference of materiality.
Okay. Have you been able to find any other historic photos of it other than the one that was included in the inventory?
This there is another image, but let me see. It's not this. It looks just as clear as this with I think it's colored, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
In coordinating um, um, with what was her name? Susan, I believe, from Historical Review in Phoenix.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
the
just
Schipple architect. Mhm.
yeah, since the inventory form doesn't address it, I think you're probably okay to do what you're proposing. I was just kind of zooming into that photo and like the bottom right, it looks like that material is maybe reflective a little bit more than stucco would be. So I wonder if it was some sort of like
Yeah.
like cladding, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it would have been, but I think if you're restoring the geometry of all of that, I think that's great, and I appreciate the effort that goes into it. Um,
Appreciate it.
the only other question I have, and it's just to clarify, it looks like there's several new openings in the in both, I guess both buildings, kind of in that uh, main entry or the alleyway between them, I guess. Can you just kind of walk me through? Yeah, I guess it'd be the where the walls of the two buildings face each
Mm-hmm.
other, that alley. Can you just walk me through like what's there now, what's new?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, happy to. Let me move this over just so you kind of see that side by side. So you kind of see this is the area that you're talking about, right?
No, I'm talking about the walls that run north-south.
Oh, these?
No, like where the driveway comes through.
Oh, these, sorry. These guys?
Yeah. Mhm.
Got it. Yeah, so we're maintaining, as you could see, those elevations. Let me go back here. Um, Here you go. So this elevation is this elevation right here. So we plan on adding a new door here at this elevation, and we plan on infilling these two windows with the existing building that we plan on reusing from the demolition. There's an existing AC unit, wall unit here that we're going to remove and again infill with existing brick. And then on the west facade, we plan on adding 4 new windows that would slide open. That would slide open to right to allow natural ventilation if this, for whatever the program may be on this adjacent side.
Okay, so it's infilling two, and then there's currently no openings in this wall here that you're showing with the 4 new openings, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, they look good to me, and it's the side of the building. So I appreciate that you're activating it a bit. I think my only comment on the 2 windows that you're infilling, those look to me like they're original. So usually we want to have some evidence of where those openings were
Correct.
when it's infilled. So I would just an idea, you could do it multiple ways, but if you're going to use brick, I would maybe just use like a single withe and set that to the inside so that we still have that um, reveal or that relief that kind of clearly shows where the window was. And if you would leave the sills too, that might.
Yep.
Good
Yeah.
idea.
Yep. Yep.
So-
Yeah, we know existing. Yeah, no, and that was exactly it. That was the purpose. Yeah, existing sill to pop out to remain where occurs. Yeah, because the intent is that we do want to show that the evidence of the window as you know, or any evidence, right? There's I think there's an existing wood header here where this AC wall unit used to be. So we're noting for that wood header to also remain. Again, any infill that we do include, we're wanting to maintain that there was an evidence of a window there.
Okay. I think the AC unit, I'd be fine if you want to, infill that and make it go away, because that probably wasn't original. But
I
the
agree. You
but
don't
the
need to keep the wood in
yeah.
there.
but the 2 windows for sure. So whether you like do a single withe and leave that like an indent in the wall basically, or if you just don't like join or like finger joint the bricks together and just leave like a straight joint between them, that works too. As long as someone could say, oh, you can clearly see where the window was. So yeah. And then my last one here, it's on the corner of the country home building. I guess looking southeast. There's like 3, or maybe it's
This
the
one?
other. I think you just have to go down, like looking from the other direction.
Oh, gotcha. This guy?
Yeah, where those 3 little posts are. I know there used to be like ironwork kind of rectangles in between them, that had kind of like a mid-century motif. Are you retaining those?
Yes, we are. We should be. Oh, this is the SMD. Yeah, no, we are trying to maintain as much of the physical character as possible.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was just in the rendering, it just shows as like 3 separate posts with nothing in between, but it's probably just.
Yeah, I think it was just.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I assumed you weren't gonna cut those out. I just wanted to verify.
We don't have those clearly noted, but we could easily, because the intent was to maintain those.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
no, we show those throughout.
There they are.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And then the signage, you guys are gonna be submitting separate permits. What we're seeing here is just kind of placeholder signage, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That's all I
You
have.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you for your
Joel-
comments.
Joel, what do you have for us? Joel?
Nothing, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm having a little trouble with my throat today. The other commissioners answered my questions and I was having trouble getting oriented, but I now understand and I think it's a great project. I really appreciate what they're doing, so thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Joel. Now, Blake, you joined late, but I'm sure you had an opportunity to review the plan. Do you have any additional questions? Blake? I'm not seeing that he is. Blake, okay. You're
there.
trying to get on?
Yeah, I think maybe his audio's not working.
Okay.
That's what yeah.
All right. So, all right. So then would Andrew or Savannah make a motion? And are we in agreement on anything we're going to ask about, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the only condition I would have is just that providing the relief or joint to indicate the original window openings. Are
Do you want to
anything
mention anything about the AC open event? That's not necessary to have a reveal?
Sure, yeah, I can.
Andrew, if you don't mind, I think that's a great idea because there's no way someone can match up that brick exactly, and to have it in the same plane, I think would be a mistake. So I think you're bringing that up as a great idea. It just gives a look having it in a different plane. That's really smart.
Yeah, and I had a question. Were there things that are not as you intend to do them on the plans? I mean, other than those window openings that you're going to close up?
I think everything we're doing is go ahead, Diego. I think
No.
yeah.
No. Go ahead. Yeah, no. I was just gonna. I wasn't clear on the question, but sorry. Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
What you see is what's planned for this project. There's nothing missing in our presentation. It's pretty thorough. It's pretty thorough. We feel.
Okay. All right. And there was that one question, that one area.
Terry, there was something. I think there was something like, oh, you're not demoing this wall after all, but I think it's fine. Right. I think that's what you're referring to, Terry. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So, okay, go ahead then. Whoever's making the motion or discussing it.
Okay, I can do it. All right. On the matter of item 4A, SD 1125000170/TDDEV 1124000315 at 2330 East Broadway Boulevard. I recommend approval of the project as presented with the following conditions. 1, that the infilled windows be provided with relief or a joint that clearly delineates the extent of the original openings. And 2, that the AC opening and any other miscellaneous non-historic openings may be infilled to blend with the adjacent wall.
Okay, and who's seconding?
I'll second.
Blake. I'll second.
Okay, we got Savannah first, I think.
That's fine.
Okay, is there further discussion? Okay, hold on. I've lost there we go. All right, I'll go ahead and call roll then. Savannah?
Aye.
Joel?
Aye.
Blake?
Aye.
Andrew?
Aye.
And Terry votes aye, so the motion passes 5-0. Applicants, do you have any questions about the motion or the way forward?
No, all I can say is thank you very much because you've obviously all spent a lot of time reviewing this, and that makes us feel good that you did that. And I wanted to compliment Diego from our firm. He did an excellent job of presenting this. I think it helped, push this through for you to better understand. So to him, kudos, and to all of you, thank you very much.
Yes, and thank you both, and good luck with this project. It's nice to see that area being developed with appropriate things.
Yep.
And Ms. Majeski, members of the PRS, if somebody could please send me the language of the motion.
Yeah.
I need to send the agenda to the DRB today.
Okay, what we'll do, Maria, is Andrew, if you could just email that to Desiree, Maria, and myself, that would be helpful.
And Maria,
we'll do it.
And Maria,
Thank you so
thanks again
much.
for thanks, Maria, for your 11th hour help to us push this through to
Thank
keep
you.
us on this agenda. That was really special, and we appreciate it.
No, thank you, Jane.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks. Good
Take
luck. Bye.
care.
Bye
Okay,
now.
thanks. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks, Diego.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, our next case is 4B, and this is the one at 925 North Jacobus. Is the applicant not here so that I won't read through the whole thing if they're not here?
The applicant's not here, but the reason that I'm requesting the continuance is actually because West University has not completed their review. So they continued the item. They just met
And
on
so we
it
need
on Tuesday.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just call this then. Item 4B is SD 0226-0017/TD-DEV-0723-00304 at 925 North Jacobus Avenue, formerly 818 East Speedway. And this is a request to revise and improve a previously approved design package. Now, Desiree she will explain and what she would like us to do.
Yes. I'm just simply requesting a continuance until your next meetings to give West University a chance to complete their review. They would like to go do an on-site site visit. And so I can also let you know if you're interested. I know Commissioner Christopher had an opportunity to see, as long as there's not a quorum, if you all, for PRS, then you all can. Some of you, if you would like to go on site, we can keep you posted on that site visit if you're interested. So I'll just let you know when that is actually scheduled. But for now, I'm just requesting a continuance.
Okay, so I need a commissioner to make a continuance, and should we mention to allow this to be the HPZ advisory board to finish their review?
I think that's fine. Yeah, I think either way is fine.
Okay, go ahead. Who would like to make that motion?
I can do it.
Someone? Okay, thank you.
All right. On the matter of SD-0226-00017, SD-0723-00076, TC-RES-0825-04240/DEV-0723-00304 at 925 North Jacobus Avenue. I will move to recommend a continuance of the project so that the HPZ can complete their review.
A continuance of the case instead of the project, possibly?
Sorry, of the case.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing you read a bunch of other things. So are we reading the same one? But, oh well.
Is this
Yes,
not item 4B?
Yes, yeah, that was correct. Yeah,
There are a lot
so because
parcels?
of the capstone, the magnitude of this project, and there are multiple activity numbers. There are a lot of activity numbers associated with these cases.
Oh,
It's
because
just a
maybe I'm
complex
seeing a different
project.
version of the agenda then. So sorry. Because I only had what I read out.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
Savannah read the correct one,
Okay.
the most up-to-date one.
So do we have a second on this motion, please?
I'll second.
Thank you, Blake. Okay, is there discussion? Okay, if not, I'll call roll. Terry votes aye. Joel?
Aye.
Blake?
Aye.
Andrew?
Aye.
Savannah?
Aye.
Great. And the case is continued for the motion. It passed 5-0. Thank you. All right, then we'll move on to item 5, courtesy reviews. 5A is 714 North Euclid Avenue, 708 North Euclid Avenue. Were there other ones, or are those the two addresses?
They're just the two addresses.
Okay, and
yes.
we'll go ahead, Desiree, and let you continue.
Okay, great. So I'll introduce the applicant here in a moment. But before, I just wanted to orient you all to the space. So this is a courtesy review of a proposed it would be the project entails a lot combination of these multiple lots here, and then a rezoning to allow for a parking lot. So the actual project that would eventually come before you would be a parking lot. But it entails those other entitlement processes would need to occur before the actual project would come before you. But as you know, rezonings, we do look at historic review does take place for rezonings as well. So these are the parcels here, and here's a Google Street View image of the space currently. And so these had previously contained contributing historic buildings. So you can see on map Tucson, the DC is demolished contributing. So those had been demolished. There had been a rezoning for the Euclid Hotel here. So there had already been a replacement plan that was passed by mayor and council, but the funding fell through for that, and that plan never realized. And so I can let the applicant, explain their kind of current proposal, but I just wanted to provide a little bit of a visual background on that. So Mike Gullock is here, and I will let you present. And Mike, do you want me to, I know you had some materials, do you want to share your screen and drive, or would you like me to do that?
Yeah, if I could share, that'd be great. Thanks
Okay.
for the introduction, Desiree, and thank you all for being here and seeing our I'd call it a temporary proposal for the site. So I'm going to share. Desiree did a great job sort of showing you where the site is. I did sort of an overlay of the historical boundary where the red parcel here. That's the whole.
We're not seeing a
Yeah.
screen.
Oh, you're not seeing me? Mm-mm. All right, let me start over. Share. How about now?
I think it's coming up. And Mike, what is your affiliation for the legal action report? The developer, the architect, the whatever.
Owner of the property.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So this is the black outline here would be the West University neighborhood border. The green is what's considered the transition zone. So this is Euclid. Our site is the red sort of dot here. I just did a little overlay to bring in with context, and I know Desiree did the same. That's where it sits. This is more of a close-up. What I had shown here in blue are several other parking areas that are leased right now in the nearby area. Blue is just showing the sidewalks. We're trying to maintain the same sidewalk that we have here. The alley is owned by the university, so is 4th Street, and so is the parking garage. We partnered with the person who actually controls this parking lot and this parking lot. And then this actually shows the parcels where these front two are the ones that would require to be rezoned to match the other three, which currently allow parking. So if these two rezone to these three, then parking's allowed on the entire site. Originally, we were intending to use the alley. Here was a very preliminary scheme. We had 102 spaces. We had really no landscape or anything like that. And then using the alley, then we ended up submitting. This was the plan we originally submitted. We had a lot of comments on it from on-site water retention, landscaping, and then we also here we had a little walking way, and we were using the alley for straight drive-throughs. And since we're considered vacant, not contributing historical, we cannot use the alley. So we revised the plan again to something, and this is probably a couple more reiterations going down. You can see there's a whole bunch of landscaping in here, trees in here, perimeter landscaping. We have the proper amount of EV cars. I think, yeah, we're down to 74 spaces. So we have a drive-through on the end of these aisles here. We're using the existing parking, or I'm sorry, curb cut and entrance egress. There'd just be one location where that would happen. This is just another sort of presentation of what the site plan would look like. Um, this this is what it was. It was kind of a free for all, and that got us thinking about just kind of doing a temporary use, but actually doing parking. We got a lot of calls. There's a lot of chaos. There was the university had to repave this whole row. We had dirt, and we were a nuisance for sure. So we fenced it off, and I think you saw it. It's just been fenced off, sitting vacant. And this is essentially what it would look like. We had met with WooZab. They had some comments, and they had suggested it might be better to actually, instead of doing screen walls down here, we can actually add more landscaping. We're proposing jojoba, which is a native plant that's also an evergreen plant, and it doesn't get too tall, so it's not um, it does become a dangerous space in there. And then we have the canopy trees throughout. We have on-site retention. And then let's see, here's kind of another streetscape view of what it could look like here. And so the idea is we're trying to do a parking lot to regain some revenue, and with the idea that it could actually be reversible, knowing that there probably is a better use for this project that would eventually happen on this site. So it's not the end game. It's just a way to recoup some money in the interim, and we think it having the revenue producing site is probably more attractive for someone who would buy it, because they would have to go through their entire design review, then all the historical design review and city design review that could take a long time. So that's where we're at right now, and this was based off some of the feedback we got from WooZab. And the idea for the courtesy review is that we'd love to hear your feedback, and we would, if there's improvements that you can see that we can make, then we definitely like to do that and have your involvement or your input on this proposal.
Thank you. Who would like to start with comments?
I can start.
Okay.
I appreciate seeing the number of trees on this slide specifically. I am the landscape architect
Okay.
on the commission, or that is the seat that I fill. And it looks to me, and based off of what I remember of the city of Tucson's parking lot requirements, this is enough trees to cover that. I was ready to be set against this until I saw that you had the appropriate number of trees in here. My big question, since this is going to be a temporary, or in your head, it is, and what you kind of said, that this is a temporary solution for this site's use, is, are you going to be covering this whole thing with asphalt? What is the plan for surface treatment here?
We're looking at a recycled asphalt, so it's actually impervious, like it'll let water through the recycled asphalt as much as possible.
Okay, so
Because we don't want any track out situations or anything like that. I mean, we want it as safe as possible as well.
Okay. Okay. That was really it. how water is getting treated on this site, but since you've said that you've already talked with water and drainage, I'm sure that they have more relevant questions for you than I. Happy to see that you're going with um, something that is at least recycled. And I'll end it there.
Thank
I
you,
had
Mike.
consulted with a civil engineer on for as far as site drainage, and then we have to have the first pass accounted for on site.
Mm-hmm.
And so it does. We actually exceed that because we went bigger with the landscaping, and we want to use the landscaping, to help buffer as much as possible.
Yeah,
And I
I
feel like
appreciate that.
you add. The site walls is just one more thing that is more difficult to be reversible, and I think it would actually become something that can just get tagged pretty easy.
Mhm.
We had a lot of graffiti before on the site, and then also
Mhm.
heat island effect, where here we would actually be doing the opposite with the planting. And if that I'm in the building industry. I'm not a landscape architect by any means, but I have friends that I was asking, and it seemed like that jojoba might be one of the best sort of screen plants. I mean, and then,
Yeah, it's a good one. Mhm.
okay, all right.
Okay, who's next with a comment?
Well, yeah, do you have a landscape plan?
Well, not formally. I prepared one based off the landscape rules, and I know we need a canopy tree. It can't be more than a 30-foot sort of span, and there's so many trees that are required on the street frontage. So I reviewed all that pretty close, and let me go back to, I mean,
I
this
mean,
big,
isn't there a 10-foot landscape border on Euclid? Or what are you rezoning to?
well, that's been the big debate, and it depends which underlying zone you're you go with, and in the end the historical has the final determination on that, and that was one of the reason I had shown. Currently this is the sidewalks. These are 10-foot sidewalks. Right now our sidewalk is 9 foot 6. We are going to add a 6-inch curb here that would also hold the retention on our site, so nothing would ever go into the right of way. And then we would do the um, landscape buffer after that. And the you have uh, the overlay zone that happens right here, and they're asking for a minimum 4 foot and then 10-foot sidewalk. Here we're trying to just maintain the historical path that's here in the sidewalk that is there, um, which is what you would see here. So we would just be adding to that to basically hold the retention. Then we would be adding the planter
Oh,
here.
sorry. What are you rezoning? What is the new zoning designation?
It's HOCR2, just like the three lots are currently HOCR2. Two of them are HR3. So we
Okay,
would zone them all to be the same, would be the idea.
got it. And you're saying that you're trying to get an exception out of the 10-foot buffer on
Um,
Euclid or through a historic?
well, it depends which overlay that you're looking at, because like the urban overlay, it's a 4 foot buffer.
Okay.
I mean, if the sidewalk now became a 10-foot landscaping, that would literally, you would walk here, walk back here. Um, sorry. And then,
I was just wondering if what our purview was relative to that. I mean, it's within the property line is the requirement. So regardless of the
Yeah,
sidewalk situation.
I think that's part of what you all can comment on, because really that's kind of all that this proposal would be, is looking at landscaping. So um, I think if you all have comments on how large that should be, or what the setback landscaping should look like, that is fair comments.
I guess I feel like I would have to know the requirement first. So it's 4 foot, is that right?
That's the thing. There's like three different requirements on the site, but the way the language reads, it comes down to historical and what they want.
Okay.
Um, so that's part of, why we're here.
Savannah, so any more thoughts, or are you still perplexed?
No, it's just without, I mean, obviously it's pretty preliminary. You don't have landscape plans yet. So I guess I'm fine with 4 foot if that's the requirement. I guess I wouldn't impose more. It's just start to limit the spaces.
And Desiree, we would review this again at some point.
Yes, so I can kind of go over the review process. So this is a courtesy review. Once the package is fully is submitted, a fully developed package and is accepted, it would go through WUZAB, PRS. Then it would have to go to the zoning examiner to review the proposed rezoning, and it would have to go to mayor and council for that rezoning and the replacement plan. So this is a replacement plan. This would be considered the replacement plan. And then once that process is complete, then the actual like permit review would take place if there were changes, or refinements made.
Okay, and so the applicant was saying that there are several types of zoning, and is the request going to be for one particular zoning?
Okay, I guess it's not the zoning. We're just trying to get one zone. We have to do a lot combination, and I spoke with them today. I submitted that September 2nd of last year, and they're almost to it. It sounds like it'll be a couple more months. So then we would have the one lot and one zone. There's different overlays and there's different ideas of where the planter and the sidewalk should be located. And here we're just trying to maintain the existing sidewalk, add to it, make it wider. Our planter on the street front is actually right now is roughly 5.5 feet, except for on the corners, we're going 12 feet wide just because the corner is so visible. And this one also is 12 feet wide, again, because it's a very visible corner. These are the angles you're going to see that lot like the most or the easiest. So we've tried to overemphasize the planting on those two corners, and then we're actually wider here than the 4 feet. We're at about 4 feet there. There's planting all through here. It's about 7 feet. And we're 4 feet all the way around, except for up on the street. We're 5.5, and then the two ends is the 12 feet. So part of it of our confusion in part of the reason here is just the arrangement of keeping the existing sidewalk, adding to it and adding the planter versus doing a whole reorientation of what's existing on the site and what's existing in the nearby neighborhood.
I think if you want to count right of way or property outside your property line for the buffer, it's generally pretty acceptable, but you do have to talk to the Department of Transportation and
Okay.
approve it. So I think we would be supportive of that. I'm sure they would be fine with it, but they have to review it.
Yeah.
Carrie, I know you had a question about the zoning. I pulled up map Tucson just quickly to clarify. So these are the two zoning. Can you all see my screen? Not yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can.
yeah, go for it.
Okay. So currently, as you can see, two of these parcels in the brown are in the HR3. So that's the historic residential 3. and then the rest is in the HOCR2. And so they would be looking to rezone these two parcels, right? Combine them, and then these two parcels would be rezoned to this zoning, if that makes sense.
Okay. And what are the requirements for,
Desiree, I'm sorry, Desiree, could you go over that again and for me? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Sure.
This is sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So we have this, there's so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parcels that make up this project. So 2 of the parcels have HR3 zoning, and then these parcels have HOCR2 zoning. And so he's looking to rezone these 2 parcels to match the HOCR2. And then these would become one parcel.
What
Right
is
now,
the
there are
difference
5
between the
different.
two zonings
and the requirements?
as they sit now?
I'm not the expert in that, but the main,
Parking isn't a permissible use and
right.
yeah.
And that's kind of
You're
the
exactly
crux
correct.
of
It is
this.
an OCR2, but it's not an R3. Yeah.
And so what you're proposing for the sidewalk and potential plantings are assuming or hoping that you get the rezoning to HOCR-2, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so I think, let's see, we've had Savannah weigh in and Blake, Andrew or Joel. I mean, so basically all we're saying is that whether or not we think it's a good idea to pursue this, I mean, to pursue that with these types of ideas. I mean, to me, it looks like a very generous planting proposal in terms of, losing 4 spots in the middle. I mean, and this isn't the final plan. We would see it again at some point, correct, Desiree?
Right. Yes. And like I mentioned, this would be replacing the replacement plan for the Euclid Hotel. So that's currently what the replacement plan was for this site. And so they're requesting to update the replacement plan to this. So that has to go all the way to mayor and council.
Right.
Okay, I can go with a couple comments.
Okay, go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, so just I do appreciate the amount of planting you're doing, and it seems like you're trying to screen it, which is good. Just a couple excerpts from the WUZAB guidelines that I think are poignant. When it talks about the general street patterns of West University, it talks about them, quote, a defining characteristic of the neighborhood is the general lack of driveways and parked cars visible within the front yard of properties. And that is true. Most of the vehicular parking in West University is accessed from alleys located behind houses, and it gives the main streets a defining characteristic. So a parking lot is a bit unfortunate, but I do understand the need to bring in some revenue and hopefully make this a marketable property so that something more than a surface lot can be done in the future. It's always a shame when contributing buildings get demolished and turned into parking lots. It's been happening for a long time, and it's a bit sad. I know that wasn't the original intention, but yeah. So the other thing, and I was looking through UDC I don't know if this section applies, but it would be a recommendation to the applicant and or staff. UDC section 4.11 it talks about temporary uses, which also I believe allows for like temporary zoning. I mean, basically, it's valid for a year and it can be extended on an annual basis. So I would like to see you pursue that versus a permanent rezoning, so that, the actual permanent rezoning could be evaluated, in terms of, whatever building or use or project is going to go there, versus just giving a blanket approval for it at this point. And if the intent is really for this to be kind of a temporary revenue solution for the site, maybe that would be acceptable to you. So,
We actually did that, and I met with John Beal going back before, and he's the one who says that I can't do that, and the best way to pursue this is just to go for the uniform zoning that already allows parking on the whole site. So I definitely appreciate what you're saying, and we did go that route and hit a roadblock.
I got you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did. I'll just kind of add to that. I did ask my colleagues in rezoning, are there temporary uses? And they basically said there's no temporary, like that's not an option. So I'll ask them about that specific. You said UDC 4.11. Again, just in case, but
Yeah,
it
because
seems like temporary is not really an issue
Yeah, I
because
mean,
that would be
that's what
ideal.
we first tried to do. Um,
yeah, it's interesting. I've never used that UDC section for something like this. I've seen it used for like a sales center or something for a subdivision, which I think is really the intent of the section. But I'm
when it
glad
comes
you at least explored it and asked the
Yeah, we
question.
did. And I'm just trying to be as transparent on our process through this too. And part of that is that there's no guarantee, like the parking lot can be there forever too. So like there's no way we can guarantee. And I think that's what it came down to versus, yeah, like a sales center definitely is, or if we're gonna sell Christmas trees or something, like that, or fireworks or um, Halloween costume. I don't,
Yeah,
so there's not a way to actually make it like temporary. So,
yeah. No, it makes sense. That's cool. The When this does come back, obviously we'll want to see the detailed landscape plan, but I think
for sure.
generally what you've proposed, is generous, I think is the way Terry, or maybe it was Blake, put it. You will have your required EV parking, so presumably you'll have some sort of transformer, on site and some electrical gear. So I would like to see what the proposal is for screening that equipment. That is normally something that would be required in West University, is screening of, utility infrastructure like that. So,
Great
but
point.
I think,
Thank you.
yep. So that's it for my comments.
Thank you.
Okay, Joel, do you have anything to add? Do we lose Joel again? I do not see him anywhere. Do you, Desiree?
I see his name there.
He
I
said
just
he
don't
came
hear
back
him.
around 2:15 or something, so I think he's like
No, he
somewhere.
came back because he said something. So anyway, we'll just assume that he is not there at this moment. So I guess we'll see you again and good luck. Because it's a courtesy review, there's no motion, just your feedback. And there'll be a link if you want to listen to the recording. The minutes, the legal action report minutes will not contain the detail, word for word what we said. So you may wish to listen to that recording if you want more feedback. Does that make sense, sir?
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I was taking notes too. So,
Yeah, but I mean, it's if you want to check something, there'll be a YouTube of the today's meeting up on
okay,
the. So anyway, thank you very much, and I'm sure you'll continue to be in touch with Desiree's office.
for sure. Thank you so much for the review. I appreciate your time.
Sure. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Bye. Not there then. All right. So let's move on to item 6, current issues for information discussion. 6A is minor reviews. Do you have a report for us, Michael? Or somebody?
Yeah, yes, Madam Chair, I do have. I'll start off and then I think my colleague Jason can follow up. We have done a couple of minor reviews for you this time. The one that is striking and very important now, it's the courtesy review on the 415 East University. This is a zoning violation because the owner decided to change the roof on the property, which originally appeared to be a red tire roof cover. And so he decided to take that out and install a corrugated metal roof on this Mission Revival style building. And I sent that to West University and also PRS. This was reviewed by Andrew. Andrew, if you have more information or to enlighten the subcommittee on this would be great because both of you have recommended denial and the
Yeah.
roof is already up. So we need to do something. So we'd like to hear from you so we know exactly what direction we should propose to the director.
Yeah. So this was, it's a pretty prominent and substantial building in the neighborhood. It's a Mission Revival. I believe it's a Jehovah's design initially, but it's individually mentioned many times in the nomination form, and it has like a metal simulated red tile roof on the front, which is original presumably, and it looks like they left that, but the back end, which is also really visible, they put corrugated metal on, which isn't really allowed in the development zone anyway, but certainly not on like that style of house. So be curious to see where it goes. But yeah, it was unanimous um, between PRS and the HPZ, and I think yeah. Anyway, it's unfortunate.
Yes.
Yes, so because it is already it's a zoning violation, Desiree Aggressor will talk with our director and we have given the applicant the opportunity to take it down and put the appropriate type of roof which is being proposed here. I don't know whether that is going to be done, but I believe with both the advisory board and PRS recommending denial, the director will have to make the final decision on that. So the next one that we have done is we have solar panel installation in West University at 215 East University. We have also working on a roof in West University at 628 North 3rd Avenue. And then in Avenue Park, we are working on two projects at 350 East 15th Street, one for a roof and at the same address, one for a solar panel. I believe Avenue Park and PRS, represented by Andrew, do not have any concerns about any of these other projects. And then the last one that I have for you is at 800 North Country Club. This is a historic landmark. They are proposing a wall sign. So that one, I have not yet sent it out, but I think it will come your way, Andrew. There's no advisory board here, but I'll be sending it to you later, maybe today or tomorrow. So those are the minor reviews I have for now. So my colleague Jason, if you have any, or if there's any question from the subcommittee or any of these, I may answer.
So is Jason not on, or did he?
No, I'm right here.
Yeah, did you have any minor reviews?
I have only one, and it is currently as it requires resubmit. And that's the only one in this is at the El Presidio HPC.
Okay, is it residential?
It is.
Okay.
And it is a contributing structure.
Okay, and you'll be reaching out for someone to do that?
That is correct. As soon as they get back in the system after the resubmit, and I believe it's to create the sub-record.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Desiree, do you have anything on that you want to add?
There was another one we recently completed at 5440 East Presidio in Fort Lowell. That was also a code violation, but it was handled as a minor review. And Andrew helped with that one. So there's some fencing, mostly like the wall and a gate, some pavers, but it was also a building built in the 90s. It was a contributing non-historic building. So that one was wrapped up.
Oh, good. Okay, so we're good on those then? Okay, item 6B
Yes.
is appeals.
No appeals.
6C is zoning violations.
I think we talked about a couple under the last item. Jason, do you want to mention the one in El Presidio? That El Presidio did review, but during that review, there were some items that came up that some things we learned that we said, okay, we need some more information and need you to fill out the plans, provide better plans. So that's why it hasn't come to you yet. But Jason, you can fill them in a little bit.
Sure. This code violation that has been put back on the applicant for a resubmit. One of the things is they did a new construction for Armada, and so they need to submit for a separate permit on that. I did confer with one of the other zoning planners and said that's what they need to do. That has been in the works for, I'd say, maybe over 4 weeks now. We're still waiting for them to take action on this.
Okay.
And I have one more another case of zoning violation too. This went to West University last Tuesday, and it was continued. It will be going back to West University, and it will ultimately come to you. That one is at 605 East 4th Street. It's a duplex where they change out all the original windows on the contributing property and replace them with vinyl sliders, which are not actually allowed in West University. So when it went to West University, that case was continued. They will be reviewed again probably in March and May, and then with you maybe sometime in April or May.
So Michael, the sliders are already installed?
Already installed, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other comments on zoning violations? Okay, if not, 60 is review process issues. Would anyone like to raise an issue or review process issue?
I more have a question just for clarification. On the last case, actually, the hotel got all the way to approval status in terms of replacement plan, and that's why the previous structures were demoed. Is that the case? Or is it just that once they submit a plan, then they demo the structures? I was just curious about that.
Yeah, that
domino
case
effect.
was my understanding of that case was it was a bit unusual. So like the normal process, like what we went through with the Fox Theater expansion recently, right? That kind of followed the normal process. So there's a replacement plan that's approved before the demolition occurs. And that in that case, I believe the city ordered the demolition. It didn't go through the complete normal process, and I don't recall the whole history. So if we want more, I can bring it, with a future meeting, come more prepared. But typically when there's a contributing building that is going to be demolished, a replacement plan is required before that demolition occurs.
But it's just the replacement plan has to be submitted, or does it go like all the way through approval, like a full on ready for permit?
It has to be approved by mayor and council, just the concept, basically.
The concept, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a concept that is approved by mayor
And
and council.
that's like the case that the Fox is under, as long as the concept's approved.
Yeah,
they can remove the buildings.
Right.
So
they have to get a demo permit. So they still have to go through the actual like submittal of their process, right, Michael? Don't they need an actual permit before?
So the way the process works is when you go to mayor and council with a concept to propose, this is what this contributing property is going to be demolished. This is what we are proposing to build. And then you get that approval from mayor and council. Then you proceed to demolish the property, and then you have to follow up with that concept that was presented to mayor and council. If you don't follow up and you don't build what you propose to mayor and council that you are going to build, and you are coming up with a different design or a different concept, then you have to go back to mayor and council for approval again, which is what is happening here.
Okay.
The first concept was to build the Euclid Hotel, and then the properties were demolished. Now the hotel is not being built, and these people are now coming in and proposing to do a parking lot, which is different from what was approved by mayor and council.
It just seems a little bait and switch, right? Like it seems like there's.
Yes, and I think I misspoke. I meant a building permit is required before they can demolish. So they need approval of that actual replacement plan before they can demolish it. But this one was different. As I mentioned, they got kind of a different mayor and council approved, not through the normal process. So normally, they would have to, get that replacement plan approved before they could tear down the buildings.
Yeah. But I think with the Fox, weren't there things contingent on funding for the project? Because if the applicant said that the funding fell through for that hotel. So if you don't have the funding in place, I don't know, it's very, very iffy. It allows too much for bait and switch, in my opinion. But
if they have to full on get a permit or approval by mayor and council and then a permit before the demo permit gets approved, that sounds like the process that would work. It's just you're saying in this case it didn't apply or they found some, which I get it. I just want to I asked the question just so moving forward we don't encounter anything like this again, especially I was thinking exactly of the Fox. So
and so all right. Anything else from people for review process?
I did want to bring up, so in the first case from today, we provided a staff report. I don't know if you all saw it. It was, the package was all combined together. But this was our first staff executive summary that we brought to you all. So I just wanted to point that out. And if you all had any, comments or questions about it, hopefully it's helpful. But just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that's moving along.
I will pay attention to that next time. I honestly just scrolled through it, went straight to the plan. So apologies, but
Yeah, no worries.
And
we were debating, should we, combine it, put it all one? Is it better to separate it out, on the website? Maybe it'll be better to separate it out.
And then we'll be like, oh yeah, we have to read that carefully first or whatever. I think that would be good to know that. But thanks for that improvement. And it was also helpful that you were able to show that map for the parking lot thing, to explain that zoning. That was really, because I don't think that the applicant really understood our question or was clear about it, or something. I mean, I think he was trying, but that was kind of an odd, different one,
It is.
Desiree, where was the staff report? I missed that as well.
So let's see.
Like the checklist.
It's signed design. I think it's labeled design package, and it
should be the first 2 pages
of
that PDF file.
Yeah, sorry. I think I quick scrolled through those. I didn't realize it was a staff report. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no worries. But if you have free time, you want to read it. It's beautiful staff report. But Jason did a good job.
Yeah, we want to honor your efforts in filling those out because that's
good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, the links to I'm just seeing that. That's awesome. So we can quickly get to the guidelines and stuff. That's
really helpful.
Great.
Yeah,
great.
Thanks.
Okay, if there's nothing else on review process, let's go on to item 7 for future agenda items for upcoming meetings.
Okay, so our next meeting, there are a few items. We have the City Hall Historic Landmark designation we're hoping to bring back to you. Milagro and Oracle, their sign replicas are in our system, so I'm going to bring those to you through those are in the grid. So they're replicas, kind of honoring the history. They're not, I don't think, exact reproductions, but I will be bringing those to you. We're going to have a staff update on Fort Lowell Day Adobe activity, as mentioned at the commission meeting yesterday. And then there are a couple cases I think we may be, just waiting to see if they're going to be ready, but there are 1 or 2 tentative reviews here.
So, okay, I have a question. Is the 925 North Jacobus that wasn't ready to? No, I'm wrong. This
Right.
Yes, yeah. Is that going to be ready?
Too.
Yeah. Now,
I am not sure. Yeah.
You had mentioned something about Joel maybe recusing from that. Is that your intention, Joel, or whatever?
Probably, depending on what's involved. Yeah. I mean, that's my house, so.
I think Joe should recuse.
Yeah. So would it be easier for you to, if we had that case last, and then you could just stay on for the first part of it?
Sure, that'd be fine with me.
Or let's just see what would happen. So I need to bring up, is everyone else planning to be there on the 26th?
I will be there. I don't honestly know what the sign project is at Milagro, but that's a PMM project, so I'd probably have to recuse from that one.
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's Jude Cook is the applicant, but the Milagro was the project, so I don't.
Yeah, I think Savannah would need to recuse.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so my thing is that I will be 8 hours later than you, but I can be on the meeting.
Where are you going, Terry?
Terry is always on the move.
No, I'm going to the Netherlands and then to France for not very long, but I deliberately am going early so that I can have a work day in there. So my work day is the 26th, and so I won't have to be anywhere catching trains or anything, so I can be on. I've been on meetings at 4 a.m. from Australia, so it's like, hey, this is like 8 or 9 p.m. I can do that. So, but if I cannot be on for some reason, and I would be in touch with Desiree, Andrew or Savannah could one of you chair. But that would be a problem. Maybe Andrew, because if you have to jump off to recuse,
Yeah, that's fine. If I need to, I can share.
Yeah, so maybe it would be great, Desiree, if we look at that agenda, like would you know by the end of next week, or when would that be for the posting? Desiree?
You're mute.
Sorry. I was saying yes. I think we should, Michael, let's work with the West University folks to see if we can schedule their review.
Yeah, we asked that we can schedule that on-site review as quickly as we can.
Yeah, and then if we can brainstorm about the best way in case you lose me or something, how to be sure that we have a quorum for all the different recusals, I don't want to miss a meeting, and Blake, you can be there too, and you'll set an alarm for your.
Yes.
Okay, good. We count on you. But I know the feeling. Sometimes I have to remind myself like 5 times that day, like, don't forget PRS. Like, okay. So
and it's possible the one in West University, depending on when they do it, we might, move that to the March meeting, depending on when they actually do
okay. So we may not even have Joel needing to recuse.
Possibly.
Right.
Just depends on how quickly they do that site visit.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I will plan on me being there, but if I'm not, then either Andrew or Savannah will. Well, Savannah, if you have to recuse, if that case is going to be on from Milagro, then maybe Andrew. So, anything else people want to share about future agenda? No? Okay, so then we are adjourned at 2:34 p.m. And Desiree, when might I expect the LAR to review, and I'll do it quickly.
By tomorrow?
It's fine. I mean, don't
Okay.
kill. I'm just wondering because I'm not leaving for a while yet. So,
Okay. I might have it ready today as well. Sometimes with the courtesy reviews, those actually are a little bit more work.
I know.
Yeah.
And that was kind of interesting. That's why I recommended that you could gloss it and then he could listen
Yes.
to the recording.
Yes. That's
Because
good.
that's every time I had to transcribe a courtesy review, I was like pulling my hair out. So anyway, thank you all very much. And Andrew, did you email us that lovely motion?
Yes, I forgot to hit send, but I just sent it. So
Thanks.
and I copied Maria as well.
Oh, good. She'll need that. So anyway, thanks everyone. It's good to see you, and we'll be in touch.
Thanks,
Bye.
Terry. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.